Hey, what is up everyone? I am Piglet here once again, and I'm back for some more of yet again for the likes of the Mexi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Yoshi's Crafted World for the Nintendo Switch. So last time we have managed to beat the likes of Baby Bowser once and for all, and also we managed to restore the final Dream Gem, and that way we can able to restore the entirety of the Sun Dreamstone. And today for this episode is the fact that, well, we'll discuss more about it whenever we get on to the actual main thing itself, because first of all, here we go, back onto that familiar forest thingy once again, except now we actually still got ourselves our little airship thing ever since Journey Forms have been the end of the game. So, hey all, you're Yoshi, right? Whoa, thought so. I'm Sprouts Blockfella. Wanna play some hide and seek? I'll go hide in some places now, so you can come and find me. Okay? Off I go. Wee-hee! So yeah, we have ourselves our new thing to deal with right here, which appears to be by the forms of Sprouts hide and seek. However though, I'm not gonna do that right now, because for the sake of this point today, that we're about to be hit on to this special world in this game once you've able to complete the game for the first time. So either way though, let's go ahead and use, no matter what though, let's go for light blue Yoshi this time around, because I was originally trying to go for pink Yoshi, or even just anything else for that besides, but either way though, that's, I've already shown you guys all of those Yoshis multiple times. Okay, quick error right there, because I need to fetch some juice quickly so I can able to prepare by the forms of, you know, the ultimate challenge of this game, which is of course, the special world in the game known as the Hidden Hills. And, well, it's usually like somewhat near to, you know, the the outer orbit world. That's the only way we can able to actually go into. So either way though, once we're able to get to this point, then we can able to actually just to go in here, and then, well, you can either just go down here, whatever you want, but I just want to go onto this normal fashion. So either way though, onto the Hidden Hills. So either way though, as you can see, it's all kind of long area kind of syndrome or something. And from here, we can't able to actually just, well, you can't go to the actual cash machine kind of, like a capsule thing. But it might be a little bit more too pricey at this point, and so whenever we, get some more coins later down the road. But for now, let's go ahead and just feed some more of those smiley flowers to this guy. So either way though, hopefully we should be able to actually access to this, the entire world, right? Just like in the previous worlds, ago. Well, turns out he's only going to be able to let you actually access to one level at a time for the sake of this world. So here we go on to the first level in Hidden Hills, which is Rough Rolling, which it might be seems pretty tough though, because either way though, we'll discuss more about this whenever we get this thing started in Journey Forms of, well, just now recently. So either way though, yeah. Okay, if you couldn't tell by the forms of that particular frame right here, basically that's a jump cut, by the way. This level's pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie, but either way though, especially noticeable if you really want to go after all these collectibles, specifically smiley flowers, red coins, and most importantly, the actual health challenge, as you guys can clearly tell from that fact. So yeah, here's the main emphasis on this stage, alongside with the other two stages we're about to be getting to in just a moment. This particular stage, or the entire world I should say, is filled to the brim with bottomless pit heavy. And as a result, if you somehow manage to fell off the actual stage, what happens is the fact that differently from the likes of in the previous stages, from the likes of how Yoshi's Crafted World actually offers us to, it's instant death. So even then though, it's basically, it's like a actual, like a Kaizo kind of level design or something like that, or mainly, I don't know, but even then though, it's been such a, well, quite a few days since actually coming back into this, basically, because apart from the fact that there's not much else I can say, apart from the fact that today's day is the forms of, the 22nd of September today, in this case in 2020, so even then we're actually getting pretty close towards the end of September, basically, or at least according to the forms of the actual, today's upload. So either way, though, yeah, that's as far as I can say about it, so... Or even then, much like in any other levels of this game offers us to, I will promise I'll try my best to able to actually just to grab most of the collectibles on the first try, but not all of them, mind you, because this level can be pretty tough. And in fact, excuse me, it actually did took me a couple of tries to able to actually just, well, export this stage. Well, complete the stage is, like, pretty easy and self-explanatory, but getting collectibles, on the other hand, though, can be a bit of a challenge, especially noticeable whenever we get on to, well, the final portions of this Let's Play in particular, that will just, oh no, popping those balloons again. And to make matters worse, I run out of those eggs, so... you know how much I really despise these, the balloon, kind of, draw distance challenge right here, and it somehow makes it a little bit more tougher here. And that's only because every time you're able to actually step onto those little rolling stuff, or these rolling platforms, basically what happens is the fact that, well, the alternative way to make things easier for you is the fact that you can able to actually keep on jumping until you're able to make yourself safe, but, it gets pretty tough and annoying, says, when it comes to forms of likely the second stage and the third stage in particular, but we'll get to those at some point or another. Especially noticeable that, even though to make matters even much more iffy than ever will be, that, well, usually relatively speaking is the fact that if you somehow realize about the fact that if you think that this game is going to be far too easy compared to the forms of Woolly World, well, this is the only world to able to feature no checkpoints, meaning every time you die, and it's especially noticeable if you get a game over, well, you have to restart the entire level all over again and try to collect the actual collectibles again. Unless if you really want to be curious to able to actually go for souvenir huntings on this particular world like this. In fact, speaking of the souvenir huntings actually, this is actually the final time we're going to be doing with the actual souvenir crafts hunting, because after we're done with that though, we are done with the majority of the souvenir huntings, which I'm gonna tell you right from this point right now, I found the souvenir hunting in this game can get really daunting and tedious at times because, well, as long as they usually just manage to place them in well-hidden places, as you can tell. So anyways, in order to be able to actually access to the next level in Hidden Hills is the fact that we have to simply spend about 30 of those flowers each time whenever we get onto that specific stuff. So something's worth noting for. So either way though, looks like he's not going to continue proceeding because he constantly is still saying, I'm fresh out of the actual energy, so this means as a result, we have to continuously try to grab the majority of those smiley flowers on the, not just buddy forms of the entire world, but also throughout the whole game, because otherwise, if you really want to 100% for everything, and I apologize for that little jump cut right there, as soon as I was trying to say for this point, because of that was my first time experiencing the stage, and also much like the forms of, you know, the actual stealth level from the likes of Shadowville level, basically every time you get caught by the searchlights, then obviously these little bodyguard looking enemies, they're trying to able to simply attacking you. So either way though, there's not much else I can say apart from the fact that the each and every single level in this world does always features the exact same theme music in the background, which I'll say it is alright. I mean, usually it's kind of like catchiness or something, although the only weakest part about the game for me was actually in terms of the lack of challenge in the main game. Well, except for the special world, as you can see right there, because, oh my goodness, it just trying to pull your, well, pull no punches and stuff like that, especially noticeable how many level gimmicks that you have to come across into, or some level mechanics that you have to go through. So either way, for the most part, well, usually relatively speaking, especially noticeable in this next level as you can see, under stage, it's like some sort of elevation kind of level, but to make things a little bit difficult is, of course, not to get caught by those little bodyguards looking enemies, as you can see, and also because, as you can tell, that we no longer have those two platforms in particular, in this case metal platforms, this meaning about the fact that you would be able to realize that if you somehow accidentally fall off the actual level, well, you have to restart the entire thing all over again. Thankfully, the level itself is pretty short though, easily the shortest level in the whole entire world in Hidden Hills. So either way, I just want to classify for this point right about now. But either way though, it looks like I'm almost gonna able to actually get myself a bit screwed right there for the sake of that specific point. But hopefully we would be able to be safe for the most part though, especially in this particular level's case. So let's go ahead and get some more, well, X in between, and so let's just hopefully try to be very careful around here, especially we really refuse to able to get hit by the end, because if we get hit by the oncoming enemy from the end, then we're going to restart the entire level all over again, so that won't be that fun. Once again, I'm off by 1 red coin left! Oh my goodness gracious me, we're actually going back onto those 1 red coin left in certain stages. Like, we've already come across into one of the levels that we've off by 1 red coin left, which is of course rough rolling, and now on the stage, I mean, what's next? The 3rd level in this world? I don't really know, because either way though, we haven't come across into that yet, so hopefully we would be able to do that. By the way, for those of you probably wondering about the forms of the actual video's length for the sake of the entire Let's Play of Yoshi's Crafted World, well, truth be told guys, is the fact that, well, it has been quite a few days since actually coming back into this basically, but as a matter of fact though, is the fact that in terms of the actual video length itself, alongside with the forms of the 17th part, this is by far one of the longest parts we've ever going to be come across into. Because of that, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the forms of sometimes trial and error, and also just keep on missing some of those most important collectibles throughout the whole game, which is of course smiley flowers, red coins, and especially noticeable with the health challenge, if you can clearly tell. Well, at least we've technically already done the health challenge already from the first level on this world. Okay, another jump cut right there, because this time around though, oh man, it's gonna get really ridiculous, isn't it? So anyways, yeah, this level's kind of like the same thing as of how it does it in Open Shut level from the likes of Cherry Valley, except it just makes things a little bit difficult for us this time around. Plus, because of that though, is the fact that we have to now deal with the forms of, well, in addition to able to try and deal with the most difficult level design in this whole entire game, but it's also the fact that we're able to actually come across into, well, as I stated before, this world, or the entire world I should say, has no checkpoints whatsoever, so, well, best of luck, by the way, because either way though, again, if you somehow fell off and die, then you have to restart the entire level all over again. So yeah, I just want to classify that right away, so yeah, you get the drill for this point. Even though that's more like it, because unlike in the previous worlds of this game, that most of the world seems to go down really easy and stuff like that, which most people complain about with terms of lack of challenge. Well, in the forms of Hidden Hills, that's actually more of a challenge, despite you get yourselves the infinite, infinite flutter jump, as you can tell. So either way though, that might be some consumption. So either way though, that's all I could really delve for anyway, so anyways, let's go ahead and be very careful around here and make sure not to slip up, especially noticeable if you really want to guarantee to get yourselves the remaining collectibles, as you guys can clearly tell at this rate, then, we just have to go for that stuff sometimes, so. But yeah, that's all I can say about this world, basically, honestly, guys, apart from the fact that, wow, we're actually getting really close towards the end of this Let's Play right now, especially noticeable how the fact that we actually got our last few bits and bobs to able to show off, including the amiibo functionality of this game as well, which I'm about to be planning to show that off once we are done with the forms of the next thing we'll like to do after we're done with the Hidden Hills, which is of course the one we're going to be hit on to next, is of course finding the forms of Sprouts hide-and-seek game. So that will be the next thing we're about to be doing. So, spoiler warning for those of you who want to know what's going to happen next. So, that'll be on this Thursday in particular, which is of course on the 24th of September, for the sake of the forms of that time. But you know, you get the idea for that, so... And yeah, this is kind of like the same thing for how it does it in Yoshi's Woolly World in terms of uploading schedules process, because usually most of the time, Deathly just always keeps on delaying certain things during the forms of certain parts throughout the majority of certain Let's Plays for that regard. Hopefully, whenever we do the forms of the Warrior Land games in the future, specifically Warrior Land, the Shake Dimension for the Nintendo Wii, hopefully we're not going to delay things too much, just like the forms of Kirby's Epic Yarn, whilst the forms of Yoshi's Woolly World and recently Crafted World, that we keep on delaying certain things during the forms of several uploading schedules in mind, especially noticeable how the fact that, well, there's a couple of reasons for that. Well, number one being, although I'm pretty sure I've already noticed about this, or I think I've already, excuse me, I've already managed to able to discuss on this point, guys, about the fact that there's a couple of reasons why that this continuation Let's Play has been delayed ever since in September. This is probably because other Let's Plays needs to be taken care of and finished with. So I'm pretty sure I don't feel like trying to mention about that again, just because I've already explained about this since the 1st of September. So I just want to let you guys know that. So if you actually did miss out on that part, then well, more power to you. So either way though, son of a... I missed by 1 health. Okay, something's worth mentioning also is the fact that much like the special levels in Yoshi's Woolly World as well, that you only have a limited amount of chance to able to get yourselves all 20 units of health, because if you somehow get hit, or even if you don't find enough secrets for that regard, basically what happens is trying to tell you that you don't have that much enough health for it. So as a result, yeah, that's all I can really say about this here. So even then, no, it does kind of reminds me of the special levels from the likes of Yoshi's Woolly World, except, well, the only major difference is the fact that there's not much levels in the special levels in this game. Unlike, I think there are about 7 of those special levels in Yoshi's Woolly World, if I recall correctly, because he only has like 6 worlds, and especially noticeable with the World Star level once you've able to collected everything or something. And then basically, oh wait, you're able to get all of the Smiley Flowers, that's what I meant to say here. So yeah, as a result, yeah, there are about 7 special levels in Woolly World, whilst in the forms of Crafted World, it only has like 3 of these special levels, including, well, we're not going to discuss more about this until when it gets towards the end of this whole entire world. Although, usually relatively speaking, thanks to the forms of my power skills of my jump cut skills, this means about the fact that I can able to actually just to show you guys the proper runs, not just keep on failing most of the time runs during the forms of this whole entire world. So, oh jeez. Okay, there we go. Oh jeez, I'm actually kind of nervous actually. Especially noticeable that, again, if you somehow fell off into that specific spot right here, if you fell down to the pit, it's instant death, so just have to be very careful right here. So hopefully, without any like too much stressing out and what have you, then, well, sure enough, we did actually make it. And let's hopefully try to get ourselves, oh gosh, this is the last of one of those timer challenges for Smiley Flowers, isn't it? That is actually going to be a little bit difficult because, well, first off, I don't have enough time for it, and 2, we have to do a exact timing in order to be able to get yourselves all these blue coins on that specific spot. So, seems for whatever reason that I've seemed to able to miss a lot of those Smiley Flowers, as you can see. So yeah, as a result, yeah, this level's kind of rough run for my part, probably because, well, because I keep on running out of those eggs, as in the forms of that ammo. Thankfully though, getting these coins is actually way easier to able to get the actual Smiley Flower to begin with. At least even then though, it should be pretty much expected when it comes to every single levels of this game, because, you know, this particular game does have a lot of encourages you to able to get a whole bunch of coins so that you can able to get yourselves a smarty flower to top it off. So anyways, let's spend about 50 of those flowers in order to be able to actually access to this final bit on the hidden hills, which we don't know exactly what this point itself looks like, but even then, we'll tackle for that in just a moment later, because for now, let's go ahead and take care of this, the last 3 bunch of the souvenir huntings from now on. So even then though, yeah, and yeah, you can able to see the amazing view from this point right here, and even then though, it does look pretty cool, despite the actual draw distance is actually pretty blurry at times. Well, relatively speaking as it is, so anyways, let's take care of the final 3 of those souvenir huntings, which thankfully is on those levels respectively. So even then, first off, we're going to be hit back onto rough rolling levels, so hopefully we could not only just try to able to get ourselves the next smiley flower, and possibly we might able to get ourselves the final red coin if it's possible, but also trying to able to find the cardboard cutouts of Baby Bowser. And since we actually managed to saw some of those familiar paper cardboard cutout souvenirs, which are obviously in this stage, as you can see, we need to find all 5 of those Baby Bowser signs, or in this case the souvenirs if I like to call them that. And whenever we get on to Understage, I'm pretty sure we need to find every single Yoshi's for that part. And finally, the final souvenir in the whole entire run-through of this whole entire game, which is of course the chemic ones, which are essentially going to be on the 3rd level, I'm pretty sure. So either way though, and while we're at it, let's go ahead and grab some more of those coins along the way. In fact, speaking of coins actually, is the fact that whenever we get on first day, that we're able to actually decide to able to go through sprouts hunting, so that way I can able to actually farm, not only just trying to able to actually just to go ahead and get something rewarding if you manage to accomplish certain stuff like this, but also that we might able to actually consider getting ourselves a lot more coins to our disposal once we're able to get onto that stuff. So even then, that should be pretty pleasant surprise all in all, especially noticeable how the fact that that's essentially how it's going to be. So it looks like so far we've actually found 4 of these at the moment, which is, you know, going pretty fast and all that stuff. So anyways, let's try this, actually let's get the 4th egg before we do anything, and hopefully we would get, hopefully we'll get this another second chance. Oh jeez, okay, okay, okay. Really? I'm run out of eggs! I think I actually accidentally pressed the X button twice. Oh well, I'll try this again at some point, but not now though. In fact, let's go ahead and grab this this last red coin and no. I'm gonna yeah, it looks like I'm gonna fall off and die. That's what I mean right there. It's instant death. Okay, another jump code right there, and hopefully I would be able to try to get ourselves the last of the smiley flowers on this part right here. If you're probably wondering, what about the red coin that you were desperately going after? Well, I'm about to save that for later, because either way though, I'm not going to take my chances to able to actually just get another game over. But I think out of all the actual gift boxes of how this game will able to brings us to, that gift box right down there is actually one of the hardest to get. Because unlike the other two that I found is like simple and easy to get, thanks to the forms of somewhat exactly in a clear spot, and also that it's all just a matter of the forms of the actual egg lock-on cursor thing they always have to rely on. And because of that though, yeah, this level right here in terms of the gift box is actually the hardest to get. So because of that, hopefully I'll try that again at some point whenever we're done with this whole entire ordeal. So, you know, you get the idea. And what's crazy about this particular guy right there, as you can see, is that unlike in the previous worlds that he always showed up at the beginning of each map, this map is the only exception, because he now showed up by the towards the end of the map. So I just want to classify that. So either way though, let us move on to Understage stage. So hopefully we should be able to find, you know, just 5 Yoshis. That's all there is to know. And hopefully without any, like, jump cuts on it so far, until whenever we get on to, you know, the hardest parts throughout. But either way, though, still, it's, I don't know. It's been such a long while since I actually discussed upon like this sometimes, but either way, though, and plus, because of that, though, I do apologize with my, commentary itself goes a little bit all over the place, you know? So because of that, yeah, I just want to get this game finished before we move on to the forms of, I don't know about the rest of the other Yoshi Let's Plays in the future, specifically, Yoshi's Island, the original game, as well as Yoshi's Story, and even the forms of, excuse me, that, Yoshi's, oh wait, I can't do Yoshi's Universal Gravitation because, the actual recording processing part can get pretty awkward. Same applies to WarioWare Twisted, by the way, so either way, I just want to classify that. So, we'll save this for later, for that specifically, for that familiar object that we can able to find until in the future, because for now, we need to take care of the forms of, just trying to get all 5 Yoshis on that exact spot. And also at the same time, trying to get ourselves all of the, all of these, other collectibles, such as, of course, you know, probably some red coins will be for the better. And as far as smiley flowers are concerned, I'll try to save that whenever we get on to the next run. So because of that, I just don't feel like trying to go for the, well, you know, in terms of, oh jeez. Oh yes, we found the final red coin on here at least, so that's good. And hopefully I was trying to avoid this guy here. So yeah, it's gonna be insane for the most part, especially noticeable how the fact that if you first time experiencing this world, then, well, you know, you get the idea, you will get yourselves butt kicked. Or even to make things easier for you, unless if you want to be casual and stuff like that, then you would be able to actually activate the mellow mode, where you can simply have yourselves an easier time with the entirety of this world. So, yeah, more power to you. So anyways, let's go ahead and get out of here. And to top it off, we get ourselves 2 more smiley flowers, based off from the health, and especially noticeable for finding the final red coin on that particular level. Mainly because I was getting too distracted by those bodyguard-looking enemies that are trying to able to go after me. So, yeah, that's what I can usually just try to say about this for the most part here. So, and here we go, folks, on to the last souvenir hunting on this whole entire game, which we definitely need to find the chemics, or in this case 5 chemics, if I like to call it that. So even then, no, once that's been done, we are done with the souvenir huntings. Thank the Christ Almighty. Even though I hated to break it to you for this point, guys, it does add a lot of replayability, which it surely does. But I will say, though, is the fact that this was actually the weakest part of the game for me. Because otherwise, if you really want to go after more smiley flowers, if you don't feel like trying to go for the actual 100% completion or something, or I don't know, I'm just a little bit too confused for myself, you know. So anyways, let's go ahead and hopefully we'll try to able to get some more hearts as we can see, but this is all depending actually, because this is by far one of the most difficult health challenges in this whole entire game, just because you're expecting to get hit a lot for the sake of this stage, and also because you only have like 2 chances in order to able to get yourselves all 5 units of health during the forms of those hidden clouds. And as a result, yeah, this can be a little bit tricky and difficult once you pretty much exactly know what you're supposed to do. So even then, hopefully we're able to actually just to find, or actually go think about it, we actually off by 3 red coins to top it off as well. In fact, speaking of the red coins total count actually, we actually got about 4 more red coins left. So hopefully we would be able to done with those red coin system in this game every once in a while. So either way though, we can at least accept that. So anyways, let's go ahead and get that shy guy from up here, and just try to grab some spare coins if we're about to get some more. I think for the most part though, I think we've only got about 2 more coin capsules left in Journey Forms of Chili Valley, despite I somehow skipped that world in terms of the actual, oh jeez, no, come on, no, I really refuse to able to fall off. Ah! Oh my god, that was so close. You see what I mean with this stage right here? Even for the entire world like this? Oh man, it's so chaotic most of the time. It is such a chaotic moments like these moments like right here. Jeez, I missed that. Hold on, let's try this again. And hopefully, with a much more better emphasis on that leaps of faith right here. And hopefully, we would be able to just, well, to simply just make it for the sake of this point right here. Oh, jeez. Oh, there's another chemic right here. In fact, let me just go ahead and grab some more Yoshi's eggs so that I can able to just get that particular chemic thing right here. And hopefully, we should able to find that specific spot. Not aim for that cube over there, but just try to aim for over here. So there we go. That's more like it. And hopefully grab some more eggs for doing so. And well, hopefully, God forbid, just try to able to find the rest of those remaining collectibles, basically. Oh, jeez. I will admit, though, for this point, guys, this is actually my first time experiencing this world, basically, so I must admit that I do apologize with the lack of knowing everything about this. So, even then, I must admit that I do apologize. So, anyways, we got all the hearts at least, so hopefully let's not get ourselves hit by certain enemy encounters, specifically, you know, with the bullet bill or these cannon shot guys, as you saw from the beginning portion of this stage. So let's just hopefully, God forbid, not to get messed up for that stuff. Oh jeez, oh yeah, there's a question mark cloud over there, which you know, just have to wait for a little while. I will say, this level can get pretty much a little bit of a pace-breaking issues on that specific stage most of the time, especially noticeable when it gets to this bit right there. I will have to admit though right away, just because most of the time if I was gonna able to be... Oh yeah, we actually got ourselves another red coin, so I think we're now, down to, 2 more red coins left on this stage, and same applies to the amount of total of those red coins left, which I think we've got about 3 left, so hopefully we would be able to get this down and over with and done with. And thankfully though, as you guys should already know, ever since in Shadow Bill, that we don't need to worry about the forms of those finding these Poochie Pups anymore, because it's just a matter of finding the last few souvenirs, and also same applies to the forms of, well, just trying to find the some sprouts thingies, or sprouts block fellas, where we'll get into in just a moment until likely on Thursday, as I said before, but you know, you get the idea. Shoot! Screw you, Shy Guys. Screw you. Come back for that later. Let's go. I'm telling you, it's that if you somehow get hit just once, if you really want to get yourselves that smiley flower so badly, then chances are you're gonna get hit a lot of times, like literally speaking of such. But at least on the upside, there's a smiley flower over there, so that should be good, right? So, anyway, let's go ahead and just hopefully just try to able to go for that stuff. Alright. Alright, hopefully for the second attempt of doing this, but again, it's not as easy as it looks though, sadly, but I guess we'll go for it anyway. Oh, jeez. No! I messed up. Yep, I simply messed up. I was so close for that too. Anyway, let's go ahead and mainly focusing on this last thing right here, which should be up here, which thankfully can utilize the floater jump. And there we go, folks. We are done with every single souvenir huntings in this whole entire game. God, that is tedious. That is the most tedious part I've ever experienced on most other Nintendo Switch games these days. I mean, good lord, man. Just good lord. Anyway, give me that freaking smiley flower and you never talk to me ever again. You understand? Good. Anyway, enough about that. Sorry for that little bit of a harsh message for that point right here. Let's move on to the last level for the Hidden Hills, which apparently we're gonna get ourselves the forms of the next boss right here. Or as I like to call it, the forms of the secret boss. In this case, well, we'll explain more about this until whenever we get into the actual main thing. But I think, first of all, we get ourselves the actual cutscene to top it off too. So either way though, I seriously swear to God, those loading screens on boss fights department takes a little bit longer, to be honest. Oh jeez, we have Kamek here. Well, 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 I see you made it to my hideout. I'm still in a tizzle over your treatment of his whimsiness the other day. Your cruelty knows no end. Well, I'll set you straight myself this time. So yeah, basically, Kamek is now gonna create his own boss this time around though, rather than just, you know, having extra help with Baby Bowser this time around though, which, even though to my surprise I know, but so here we go with fighting against with Kamek now, so yeah, we're about to deal with him now. Okay, if you couldn't tell right there, I'm really not a big fan of this boss fight now. Well, to be honest with you, as you can tell, that we're actually going to be coming across into not only the exact same bosses as we remembered from the likes of the previous worlds from World 1, and, well, usually relatively speaking, Boss 1, Boss 4, and especially noticeable for Boss 5 coming up, which you see why in just a moment, but, it's basically like a boss rush kind of syndrome, and because of that, all we need to do in this part right there is the fact that we need to take down the Tin Can Condor segment right here on this first part. Then if you do manage to able to aim the egg at Kamek, then he'll able to actually come straight towards you, and then as a result you need to ground pound at him so that way he'll deal the damage. The next part right there is the fact that we need to get onto the Gator train right here, which is self-explanatory, but the only thing that's different about it is that we now need to deal with the forms of those little jump lift platforms, which there's actually like the actual missions kind of like this, which I'll discuss more about this until at the finale portion of this Let's Play. So for now on though, we're basically done with that. We need to aim for the egg at Kamek at all times, and then that way we should be able to deal the damage on him. So, and the third part is just the fact that it's kind of like the same thing for how it does it on the Baby Bowser, or in this case the Great Baby Bowser boss fight, in this case the final boss in the game. Basically we got to able to dodge a lot of rocket missiles and just trying to get ourselves the actual projectiles and egg. And then afterwards though, as soon as Kamek showed up in the center, then you were able to do the usual damage on him by simply ground pounding at him. So either way though, here comes the final part, which is perhaps the hardest part about this boss fight to me, and let me honest, I have to be brutally honest for this point guys, I absolutely despise this part, because all you have to do here is the fact that we actually gonna have a ride on the forms of Go-Go Yoshi, which we haven't seen that contraption since the very beginning of the game, and as a result, it's your chance to able to actually just, well, in order to able to deal the damage on Kamek on this particular phase though, is the fact that we need to send those enemies right back at him. So even then though, the best strategy I find for me though, is the fact that, well, despite the directional pad can help out, but I will say it's not perfect to able to utilize the directional pad, but instead use the analog stick in order to able to do it easier, because that way you can able to actually get yourselves the adjustable arm extensions a little bit easier. And also, if you dare miss one of the enemies, if you can clearly tell, not only does it able to take your health away, but if we get to this part right there, as you can tell, I somehow missed by one enemy. This means it will not count at all when the bandages has been taken out, such as that. So this means you have to repeat the exact same process over and over again without taking any hits, or even in this case you have to be perfect on it, because you really can't afford to mess one up, because if you then mess up, then you have to restart. Thankfully, the best tip about this is the fact that I've managed to discover this by myself, is that you have to pull back on the control stick, and that way you should be able to slow down the Go-Go Yoshi vehicle contraption. So that way, it gets the job done, and even then, that's all I can say about this boss fight. In this case, the boss rush endurance. And I'll have to tell you right for this point, I absolutely despise this boss, because most of the time, whenever I play this on my first time around, it actually took me about 50 attempts. Like, literally 50 attempts on that boss. Oh, jeez. But hey, at least we got ourselves a difficult boss. I mean, that's more like it. But otherwise, we are done with this point right here, and we actually completed every single courses of this game offers us to, and we also got ourselves our chemic costume out. So even then, though, that's all cool, fine and dandy and everything. But here's the last thing what this guy is trying to tell us about something, and that is, well, he's now hiding himself in this the exact same thing as before, but guess what, how many smiley flowers he's gonna be going after? 317 smiley flowers! God, that's way too much, man. But hopefully we'll save that after we're done with the Sprout hide and seek first. But from now on though, I'll meet you guys whenever I grab the remaining collectibles for the entire world. So I'll meet you guys there, so... Oh boy, this could be tougher than it looks. But hey, best of luck. Alright, let's try this red coin collectathon again, and hopefully I should be able to just... Seriously, this particular gift box is actually the hardest ones to get, because otherwise, if you slip up, you will able to actually get yourselves a game over just right here. Alright, so the next two smiley flowers are gonna be... Well, one of them is actually gonna be in here. And thankfully, we don't have to worry about everything else for this, for the most part, though, apart from likely getting caught by, you know, the searchlights everywhere and all the other jazz. Thankfully, the last smiley flower on this stage is actually not that far. It's just, like, somewhat near to the actual, the fifth smiley flower, if I recall. Is that whenever you get towards it from the top, then you do realize is the fact that if you're probably thinking that it might contain nothing on the left, turns out I was wrong, because either way, we have to specifically, well, we're trying to able to jump onto that enemy, and then just trying to go to the left and see what happens. And turns out, yep, there's the last smiley flower on this stage. Anyways, on to the final level we go, and hopefully we should be able to find the last few, well, there's one here. And hopefully let's try to do a better attempt on that smiley flower just right here. And thankfully we actually got ourselves full health, aggressively speaking. So hopefully we would be able to actually go for that stuff. So either way though, there we go. Hoo-wee. That is surely something else. Even especially noticeable how the fact that, well, you do realize about the fact that we could able to actually expect to realize that this will be the final time for able to noticing this already. In fact, speaking of which actually, it's the fact that this will be the last time we're going to be seeing the goal sign right here, because otherwise... Okay. I totally forgot that was actually the last red coin. You know where it is? Anyone? It's in here. Inside that block! Oh my god, I'm actually getting really annoyed right now, but thankfully that's the final time we're gonna have to come across into a lot of red coins frustration locations. But regardless of anything else, we are done. We are done with this. Oh my god, hallelujah. Oh, that's something else. But anyways, I think simply to say for this point, guys, since this video's gone long enough as it is, I think we should probably end things off here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Yoshi's Crafted World. It's the fact that we're about to be getting things started with finding those sprouts in every single main platforming levels. Not boss fights, mind you, but we'll see you guys until on Thursday. So yeah, that's what I can say about it. Later, fellas. Stupid.